The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises and revelations in this film that will actually make us view the entire Skywalker saga in a different way. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is really going to introduce new angles and aspects of the Star Wars franchise that we have never seen before, that are really going to build towards something larger and more magical by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. And they're also going to be doing amazing things with the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey, and will be evolving the concept of the Force in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of both Rey and Kylo Ren standing in front of a large First Order building, with both of their lightsabers ignited, where it's described that Kylo Ren is shouting and trying to turn her to the dark side of the Force. It's said to be a moment in which Rey denies to turn and reveals new secrets to Kylo Ren about Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker that causes Kylo to go into a phase of rage. The next goes over Kylo Ren sprinting toward Rey, where both of their lightsabers clash together, where it's said that the environment around them begins to flicker and change to the city of Theed on Naboo, where it's described that Kylo and Rey are now fighting near a lake of some kind that appears to be the same one seen in the prequel trilogy era, where Kylo is said to have the upper hand. The scenery in the background is described to be very vibrant, yet at the same time planned to have a slight blur to it all to create the effect of a flash fight. Now, one of the sequences involved Rey kicking Kylo's leg in, causing him to fall down and drop his lightsaber, where Rey attempts to steal it only for Kylo to force pull it away and strike and lock sabers again, causing the environment around them to shift back to the First Order base, where a large Star Destroyer is seen crashing into the surface in the distance. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that flash fights are going to be a very significant piece of Episode 9. Now, the other thing is this, alright, Episode 9 is said to really evolve the concept of Force Ghosts. And if you think about Force Ghosts, and the entire concept of just the regular Force, that's exactly what J.J. Abrams is going to evolve. It's not just the Force, but he plans to evolve the idea of Force Ghosts as well. In this particular scenario, it's all related to evolving the Force itself. And this all is, of course, relative to flash fights, which is said to be a mixture of a regular lightsaber duel, flashbacks, and of course the Force bond sequences between both Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, we got a little tease of this in the official art book of The Rise of Skywalker, the cover of it that was unveiled a couple of days ago, where we see Rey on the planet of Mustafar from what it seems, and on the other side, Kylo Ren is on a different world that may be Hoth, or maybe a different world that we have never seen before to this date. Now, the other piece that I do want to go over is how they eventually are transported to the world of Naboo, specifically over in the city of Theed, where the environment in the background as both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting is actually described to be the lake, alright, the actual lakeside that we got to see in, I believe it was Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So that is yet another iconic moment in the Skywalker saga that, of course, both Rey and Kylo Ren will be brought back to in Episode 9 during one of their flash fights. Now, the thing about this is that we do know that George Lucas was the one that gave the okay to J.J. Abrams in order to use these new types of lightsaber duels in The Rise of Skywalker that would literally take us down a trip of memory lane for, of course, the different eras of, the Star Wars franchise, ranging from the prequels to the originals, you name it. I want to go over one of the moves that Rey actually performs here, where she literally kicks Kylo Ren's leg in that causes him to fall down to the ground, where he drops his lightsaber, where she attempts to force pull his saber away from him, where she's unsuccessful and he is able to take it back from her. Now, you can really see how they're really trying to implement a lot of prequel trilogy choreography, which they will be doing in these lightsaber duels in the ending sequence within the third act of the movie, in order to really make it feel like it really is going to really be very nostalgic of what we got in the fights in the originals, and even, or should I say in the prequels, Episodes 1 through 3. Now, to me, I think that if we look at The Rise of Skywalker, sure, a lot of fans are going to view that as a controversial thing, on whether or not it's a good idea to have, prequel choreography of the world that is the location of the First Order headquarters. Now, this is when Rey and Kylo return from Naboo, and you see all of the chaos happening in the background between the First Order and the Resistance. Now, the one thing that I do want to bring up about flash fights is whether or not they are actually there on these worlds, or if these are just mere simulations, if you will, where it's kind of similar to what happened with Rey in The Force Awakens, where she's not really inside the corridors of Cloud City, it's just a simulation. So to me, I think it's pretty safe to say that this whole entire scenario of the flash fights are actually nothing more than simulations of Naboo, Ahch-To, Mustafar, Endor, Tatooine, whatever have you. And what's great about this is that we do know that George Lucas actually handpicked a lot of the planets that are set to appear during the flash fights for the ending sequences of Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.